Shalom, Torah fans. Is President Donald Trump's life at risk? What has happened since the US bombing of Iran? What is the relationship between Iran, Israel, and the US right now? What's going on in Gaza and Israel? Where is Iran's main leader? Do we know? Or is he even alive? We'll be discussing these points and more in this new segment with Brothers V and Mr. Matt Weimer. Blessings, brother. Great to have you here with us today.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
So tell us,
So
Matt, what's with the news? Is Iran trying to kill President Trump again?
So it appears that he's it appears that the threats are definitely going on. I assume that Trump is definitely watching this, and I understand he's already responded to the IRGC about these threats, saying that the only thing that Iran destroyed was their own credibility. So I don't think he's, I know he's watching out, but as with many Iranian threats, I don't see them. They're more empty than on the surface. Although you can't be too careful.
Right.
Yeah.
on the other hand, did Trump threaten to kill Khamenei? Yes. So Trump said, I knew exactly where he was sheltered and would not let Israel or the US armed forces, by far the greatest and most powerful in the world, terminate his life. I saved him from a very ugly and ignominious death. And he does not have to say, thank you, President Trump. So Trump, with his typical rhetoric, probably, yeah, they could end it all. Now, my main question is if Trump is under threat, or they had even suggested, Matt, that last year's assassination attempt had been by the Iranians.
Right.
This young guy that climbed on that roof when he was shot on the ear. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, including myself, would love to see a proper investigation on that. But actually,
Absolutely.
we barely know anything about what really happened. And they say, yes, Iran. So I think a lot of people are like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, right? Because you may have ulterior motives to go do something to that country, but we haven't seen a real investigation yet, have we?
We have not, no. And the from what I've heard a little bit of it, maybe just rumors, but that it was in retaliation to the assassination of Qasem Soleimani back in 2020,
Hmm.
when near the end of his first term, um, back when Trump took him out in I think it was in a limo in Baghdad. So yeah,
There
So
might be a
that was
connection then.
a,
Okay.
a lot of people were proud back then when Trump went in and hit, and then nothing major developed from that.
right.
And apparently, he wants to make it seem as if now it's kind of like the same thing, that there were some targeted hits, and now we're out. He said the 12-day war, it will be remembered. So there is no intentions to do a 20-year occupation like had happened with in Iraq or Afghanistan. Do you think this will hold up?
I do on our end. I don't think Trump, at least while he's president, will want to go boots on the ground in Iran at all. I don't. I definitely don't see that happening from him, um, unless the only exception to that would be if Iran does something on our soil or to one of our, whether that's here over the ocean or what's considered our soil over our bases in the Middle East. Um, and even then, it wouldn't start out that way. I think it would be strikes like Israel has been doing, and like what we
Mhm.
did with the nuclear power plant, nuclear facility.
Now that you mentioned that, Matt, I keep hearing some news about the nuclear facilities. That, is there any way for us to know that the nuclear facilities were 100% destroyed? Or, I mean, is there any certainty about that? If if not, I mean, is President Trump maybe planning to, bombing Iran again? Is that a possibility? How do you see this?
So, from what I've heard, from Trump, from Pete Hegseth, and from Tulsi Gabbard, they're all saying that the initial report that came out of the Pentagon, the early report, was in fact incorrect. That all three of them now are saying that they were more destroyed than the initial report said. Um, I'm hoping that's true. If not, then I could definitely see Trump going back in. But right now, as with Trump, Hegseth, and Gabbard all saying that no, these were uh, highly damaged or destroyed. I don't see him doing anything right now unless it comes out that that's not the case.
All right. And now, what about the military activity between Iran and Israel at this time? Do we know about any missiles going back and forth?
There haven't been any missiles fired at Israel from Iran. The other than the one that came out, what was it, 12 minutes into their ceasefire or whatever, that Trump was saying, "Oh, don't turn around, don't retaliate over that," or whatever. When he said that last week, um, there are there does seem to be operations still going on though by Israel. Drone attacks, covert assassinations, things like that that are not uh, in the news, where it doesn't like it's a ceasefire on as far as the public is concerned, and it's not the governments are not actively at war with each other at the moment, but and Israel is going in kind of secretly with drones and covert assassinations.
Have we heard of Ayatollah Khomeini? I know you were sharing with us some article.
Yes, let me pull that up. It's so we're wondering where Khamenei is. He hasn't been heard from in public. He hasn't come out in public. He did a video less than a week ago, but it wasn't. He was obviously still. It was either pre-recorded. He was still in wherever he's hiding. It appears that he is still there. There's been no reports of any, funeral for him or anything like that. Nobody really knows where he is at the moment. So it's
the question is do we need him out of the way for the Islamic reign to end, or will somebody succeed him that will be aligned with those ideals, right? So we had a form of government for a few decades before the revolution of 1979. We've had this Islamic government for over 4 decades. I assume that it's not going to be that easy to just flip it again and start going the other way.
Now, I do think in order for regime change to actually happen, Khomeini will have to be out of the picture, either exiled or killed. If this does happen, though, the most likely candidate for a takeover is, let me zoom this in a little bit, is this the crown prince. His name's Reza Pahlavi. He's the son of the Shah before the Iranian Revolution, and he's been active looking for leaders from like the UK to support him. He's been asking the Iranian people to rise up and get this regime out of the way so he could step in and bring what would be a democratic monarchy, a return to that before 1979.
But it is necessary to cut the head of the snake then.
It is, yeah, so that he could
All
step
right.
in and take over Iran. Yeah.
Okay.
But he kind of is the kind of leader that probably needs it like served on a silver platter by the powers of the West, and he's like, okay, now you can go back to reign, to take your position. Like, I don't see him starting a military, or militarized faction and go and take the power, start a revolution, and so on, like it happened back then.
No, I think it'll be through the assistance of Western powers, but also the Iranian people rising up against the regime, and the combination of the two to bring this about.
Okay. Now, going back to the matter of Israel and Gaza, what's going on right now, Matt?
So we have anti-Hamas Arab clans in Gaza right now, trying to take the humanitarian aid that's coming in, which is why I've also heard reports of Israel stopping that. But they are anti-Hamas. The people in Gaza are rising up against Hamas as a result of this as well, and it's interesting because we've had for so long the people seeming to support Hamas. They voted them in. Polls were showing that they were very pro-Hamas, but that seems to be changing with the rise of some of the anti-Hamas Arab clans. They're still, they're still Islamic. They're not at all friendly to Israel, the Jewish people, but they are against Hamas. So that's an interesting development going on right now.
Wow. It's amazing how I just can't imagine how Israel does it, right? I mean, they're dealing with Hamas and then they're dealing with Iran at the same time. And I mean, so many military actions taking place at this time. Any final thoughts, Zvi or Matt, before we close this segment?
I don't have anything specific, no.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And as always, leave us your comments, leave a like, and we hope to continue to bring you news and whatever is happening in the world, especially as it pertains to Israel and to biblical prophecy and all those good things in these prophetic days. So thank you everybody, and see you next time. Shalom.
Shalom.